brought them over, he said, I want you to change their names. He said, I need you not to allow them to function with the same names that they were functioning in when they were at home. He says, I want you to make sure that their names are changed. And if we change their names, we can show the authority of their demonic forces over their nature. And this is because in Judah they had names that represented God. The reason the names represented God is because when you called on them, you would know that they are under subjection to the things of God. They are submitted to the ways of God. So they said, we're going to change their names. We're going to change their names. Daniel, which represented God as my judge, his name was changed to Belshazzar, which means Baal, protect the king, reflecting an attempt to erase his allegiance to Yahweh. Hananiah's name was changed, which meant originally the grace of the Lord, and it was changed to Cedra, which is a deity that is worshipped by the Chadrins. He changed the name of Mel, which means he is a strong god, to the goddess of Shak, which is the god of Venus, who is worshipped in ancient Babylonian culture. He says, I want you to change the name of Azariah, which means the Lord is my help, to Adebo, which means the servant of the shining God, the shining fire God. So the strategy was to make them forget the God of their fathers. And if the name change is redefining the nature of God in one generation, his hope was that it would spill over to another generation. So if we can make this generation forget who their God is, if we can make this generation forget the significance of who their God is, we won't have to work as hard with the next generation. But somebody say the devil is a liar. Satan's agenda did not work for the people of God. It didn't work. So and that's why I said you really have to be careful. You really have to be careful, side note, with all of these nicknames. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You have to be careful. Because the agenda is to forget. It's for Satan to make us forget who we are in God. He doesn't want you to come into the full knowledge of Christ, because then you'll be forced to transform. So he says, we have to stay steadfast. Some of these nicknames is demonic curses. You got to be careful. You better be careful of what you allow people to call you, this astrology and this witchcraft. You got to be careful. My name means saved. Hallelujah. My name means free. Hallelujah. My name means delivered. Hallelujah. And I got people around here, well, I'm a Capricorn this, I'm an Aquarius this, I'm a Cancer this, I don't know, I'm a child of God. That's what I am. So you keep your Aquarius, your Capricorn, all that over there. I'm a child of God over here. And I'm not embracing this satanic agenda. I'm not doing it. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. People asking for your birthdays, all this stuff. You got to be watch these witches. You got to be careful.
Yes. So
the king's food was a symbol of compromise. Like I said, I told you, a compromising position don't lower the standard. Eating the king's food would mean accepting Babylonian values and defiling themselves according to the Jewish dietary laws. So the king basically said, I'm going to prepare all of this fine food. I could imagine he had some lobster tail, some steak, some chicken, and some curry and everything else. So all kinds of seafood, all kinds of everything down there. And the Lord said, do not touch none of it. Don't partake in none of it. And it really had a spiritual connotation, because when I was studying, I said, Lord, it ain't nothing but some food. What is going on? I said, Lord, and you know it was good. They had some smothered pork. Listen. And he said, don't touch it. I said, okay, well, this must have a spiritual connotation. He said, even though it looks good, and we know it probably tastes good, if we consume ungodliness and defile ourselves, that is what we will become. Manifesting with us is changing our nature in who we are in God, a compromising position. So they were put in many positions to compromise. So Daniel's resolution, of course, we understand Daniel says, I'm not going to defile myself. He demonstrated commitment to God's standards. He said, I'm not going to defile myself.